This was actually from month and a half ago, roughly. A couple months, month and a half ago. This should be the stepping stone of all nations that are international bankers, that the international bankers have everyone in debt. This, what I'm about to read you, should be the stepping stone of all nations that are in debt to those bastards. What you do and how simple, how easy it is to handle. It's a joke. It's just as easy as if, hey, you qualify for bankruptcy, why struggle under debt? Why stress out? Why die early over all this stress? You qualify for bankruptcy. That's why the laws were created. Go file bankruptcy. Clean it off. New slate. Start again. But countries, no, you can't. No, you got to pay that money. Got to pay that money. International Monetary Fund, Mrs. Christine Lagarde. Oh, you got to pay that money back, or else we're not going to give you loans, and we're going to downgrade your credit. And go ahead. Just like me, my credit rating is destroyed. Go ahead. I have no debt. Right now, as you're looking at it, I have zero debt. I don't even have a house payment, as you know. Why? So, Iceland declares independence from international banks. By Bill Wilson. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate this article. Iceland is free, and it will remain so long as her people wish to remain autonomous of the foreign domination of her would-be masters, in this case, international bankers. On April 9, the fiercely independent people of the island nation defeated a referendum that was last year that would have bailed out the UK and Netherlands, who covered the deposits of British and Dutch investors who had lost funds in IceSave Bank in 2008. At the time of the bank's failure, Iceland refused to cover the losses, but the UK and Netherlands nonetheless have demanded that Iceland repay them for the loan as a condition for admission into the European Union. We'll let you into the EU, which is currently being destroyed and blown up. We'll let you into that as long as you pay our guys back. No. In response, the Icelandic people have told Europe to go pound sand. No. The final vote was 103,000 to 69,000, or basically 60%. Taxpayers, quote, taxpayers should not be responsible for paying the debts of a private institution, end quote. Pretty cut and dry, said Sigrid Andersen, a spokeswoman for the advice group that opposed the bailout. It's pretty simple. Taxpayers, peasants, consumers, citizens, whatever you want to call them, are not responsible for paying the debts of international bankers. It's that simple. A similar referendum in 2009 on the issue, although with harsher terms, found 93.2% of the Icelandic electorate rejecting a proposal to guarantee the deposits of foreign investors who had funds in the Icelandic bank. The referendum was invoked when President Olaf Ragnar Grimsson vetoed legislation that the Parliament had passed to pay back the British and the Dutch. Under these terms of the agreement, Iceland would have had to pay $2.35 billion to the UK and $1.32 billion to the Netherlands by the year 2046 at 3% interest rate. Of course, got to have that interest. Its rejection for the second time by Iceland is a testament to its people who feel they should not bear any responsibility for the losses of foreigners, for God's sakes, endured in the financial crisis. Yeah, I would agree. And I also agree we don't need to be printing our money and dumping it over into Europe with these little currency swaps and QE1, QE2, and all this nonsense. Why are we bailing out Europe? Well, we have to bail them out. If we don't bail out Europe, our economy is going to get destroyed too. Oh my God, financial terrorism, the financial guns to your head. Do it or else. And then you do it, and then you find out we got a bigger terrorist event for you. Now, it's not just local banks in America. Now it's worldwide. It's just European banks too. Oh, gun to your head again. Oh, we got to do it. Bailout. Up the debt. 1 point something trillion. Let's go to 17 trillion now. We got it. Can't have the Armageddon. Right? Oh, boy. That opposition to bailouts led to Iceland's decision to allow the bank to fail in 2008. Not that taxpayers there could have afforded to. Anyways, as noted by Bloomberg, at the time of the crisis in 2008, the banks had debts equal to 10 times their $12 billion GDP per year. 10 times GDP. When a country hits a ratio of 100% or 1 time, just equal, whatever it is, 1 to 1, that's usually the point of, you know what, you're done. It's going to catch up in a little while. You're going to be finished. And this was 10 to 1, 10 times. And these bankers don't care. Give us our money. It's our money. No, it's not your money. You use other people's money to make money. And just like MF Global, you use other people, your clients' money, to make your own self money, which is against the law. You did it anyways, then lost it, then filed bankruptcy and said, oh, the money's gone. Well, I've got 78% recovered. Have a nice day. Or 72, whatever it is. Regulators, FBI, where are you? Just like Marcy Kaptur, Congresswoman out of Ohio. Where's the FBI? There's 10 people in charge. Back in the savings and loan crisis, there was like 300 or something like that. Or 100, 200, somewhere in the hundreds. Now there's 10 people looking into it. 10 FBI agents. Really? You can't pull some off from some stupid nonsense you're dealing with and throw them on top of this fraud on Wall Street and put these bastards in jail? Of course they could. But they're not going to get that okay from their bosses, because their bosses, chances are former Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan bankers anyways. So they're going to dare tell their people, the peon class of the FBI, go get these guys. Oh, wait a minute, I used to work for him. I used to be his boss. He used to be my boss. No. Hands off. He's one of the club. Go find a fake terrorist with fake guns and stuff and parade him around the TV to show that we're still fighting the war on terror. Yeah, that's better. Quote, these were private banks and we didn't pump money into them in order to keep them going. Yeah, that's how it should be. The state did not shoulder the responsibility of the failed private banks. The Iceland president, told Bloomberg TV. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's what's supposed to happen. The voters' rejection came despite threats to isolate Iceland from funding in international financial institutions. Iceland's national debt has already been downgraded by credit rating agencies, and now those same agencies have promised to do so again as punishment for defying the will of the international bankers. And Iceland still says, we don't care, go pound sand, you filthy bastard bankers. This is just the latest in a long drama since 2008 of global institutions refusing to take losses in the financial crisis. Threats of global economic depression and claims of too big to fail have equated to a loaded gun to the heads of representative governments in the U.S. and Europe. Iceland is of particular interest because it did not bail out its banks like Ireland or foreign ones like the U.S. did. If that fervor catches on amongst taxpayers worldwide, as it has in Iceland, and with the Tea Party movement in America, the banks would have something to fear. That is, the inability to draw from limitless amounts of funding from gullible government officials and central banks. And I don't know necessarily that they're gullible government officials. They're just easily paid off government officials and former banking personnel themselves at the high level of banking, not just some bozo behind a teller window. Member of the board, CEO, VP, COO, etc. So anyways, that's all I got for you. Been a little while since I've done some videos, so I've been meaning to do these last couple days, and I just had to get out here and pound them out for you. Have a nice day. Let's try that again.